Hey, welcome back to 2SkeGEEKS. It's your boy Will Call hanging with you today. Unfortunately, my man John Michael couldn't be with us today because he's still recovering from eye surgery that he had earlier this week. And so we wish him a speedy recovery and, uh, and incredible eyesight that I hope you gained from the surgery. I know he's been texting me, so I know he can see. But I know probably maybe for vanity's sake, he may not want to be on camera. I'm not confirming that that's what it is, but I'm just saying maybe that might be a reason why he may not want to appear. Not saying he hasn't told me that he hasn't said that he doesn't want to, but just giving him a chance to get his eye together and recover so that way we can do a show together very soon. So love you, brother. Talk to you soon. And so far as putting a show together. Uh, this is the second time I recorded this show, and because the first time I recorded, I didn't realize the camera mic was on and the computer mic was on and this mic was on, so there was a horrible echo when I was about to edit. Mistakes happen for a reason. I had a format already planned out, but in between time, while waiting for my wife to do some things in the kitchen and things like that, I found this book that I've been meaning to read that I hadn't read yet until this mistake. It's called The Shadow Doctor. This is a book by Peter Calloway and George Hente, or Hente. He's an artist. George is an artist down in Atlanta. In fact, one of the first comic book conventions I went to, I met George. George's Hente, I should say. John Michael and I met him at one of the first comic book conventions in Atlanta many years ago, almost 20 years ago, that we went to together. And we got books signed by George's and Brian Michael Bendis. But regardless of that, this book, Shadow Doctor by Peter Calloway, since this book is called 2SkeGEEKS, this show is called 2SkeGEEKS, it has history related to Tuskegee. As a matter of fact, Peter Calloway's great-grandfather went to Tuskegee. And it's a book about the mob in Chicago in the 20s and 30s during Prohibition, in which, as I said, his great-grandfather went to Tuskegee, or was on the staff at Tuskegee, as a matter of fact. There's a picture in the back of this book with his great-grandfather on staff at Tuskegee as one of the founders of Tuskegee. Crazy. And and his name was, who was the great grandfather? Let me see if I can find this real quick. It's just crazy that I found this. Just happened to pick this up because it was something I wanted to read, but I hadn't done it yet. His grandfather was James Calloway. His great-grandfather was James Calloway. His dad is David Calloway. He was a doctor. But to show you, these are pictures here of the Tuskegee staff with his great-grandfather, and then his father's down below with his wife. And the great-grandfather is on the singular picture above the picture of his dad. So Peter Calloway's dad is here. I'm sorry, Peter Calloway's dad is here. And this picture here is his dad as a baby. And this is Peter Calloway now at the top. And so it's just crazy that Peter Calloway, who by looks white, but he has black family and related to Tuskegee. It's just crazy that what we find in family history. But it was a blessing that I found this book in between time, so I'm glad that I had to re-record this show. It's an excellent book. Take the time to find Shadow Doctors. It's unique. So now I want to move forward into going to the real flavor of the show that I wanted to do, and that is going to. I went to Orlando this past week for work, and while there, I went to the Coliseum of Comics. And if you didn't know, Coliseum of Comics in Orlando has two locations. The location that John Michael went to in one of our earlier videos, John Michael went to the larger store. I went to the smaller store, which is smaller footprint, but it still has a pretty good back issue bin collection. Still has a pretty good action figures and statues collection. Just not as diverse or as in large in quantity due to the footprint of the store being much smaller. But you can still find lots of treasures in there. So I'm going to share with you some books that I found from the Coliseum of Comics. But first, as I do that in sequence of, I'm going to start with Fantastic Four. But I want to show you a book that was a precursor to the Fantastic Four called Challenges of the Unknown that Jack Kirby did. Jack Kirby was the artist on the Fantastic Four when it was created with Stan Lee, but before then he did Challenges of the Unknown. And this book here is the archetype of the Fantastic Four. And so do yourself a favor and pick up Challenges of the Unknown and read some of these crazy, outlandish, adventurous stories. All artwork done by Jack Kirby, as all artwork was done in the Fantastic Four for at least the first 20 to probably 50 to 70 books were done by Jack Kirby of the Fantastic Four when it first came out. So enjoy that. And so now let's get into the stuff that I found at Coliseum of Comics in Orlando, the smaller store, the second location. This Fantastic Four book here, number 241. This is a Black Panther story, and I believe it's related to Kang the Conqueror in this one because they're talking about a bizarre time-lost foe. I have a feeling it might be related to Kang the Conqueror in this, or Reed Richards' dad, Nathaniel Richards, being a time traveler as well and related to Kang. Then we've got right here, we've got Fantastic Four, number 265. And I'm going to try to pick up the pace on this show so that way it won't be as long because I already did a long introduction. This is the first appearance of She-Hulk in the Fantastic Four, number 265. And so with She-Hulk's show being what it is, try to get yourself a copy. This is Fantastic Four number 310. This is when the Hulk, when the Thing had a little change in formation. You got the almost like the pyramid rock scheme going on top of his head. But loved this cover. That's why I picked it up. And he was looking more mountainous in these depictions of the Thing in these and this one is with Black Panther in number 311. Alrighty, and then we've got Fantastic Four 312. I'll move it this way so you can see it better with a Doom story. I tried to do it this way, so that way you get it better. And I don't have to be seen. And this is Doom with Doom and the Fantastic Four with X Factor, which was a later incarnation of the X-Men. Then we've got Fantastic Four number 330, just a great Doom cover, solo, just Doom on the cover, smashing it. 330, and then it went out of order, but this is Fantastic Four 321, and I got to put that in order with She-Hulk and the She-Thing, which was actually Alicia Masters, Ben Grimm's girlfriend, the Thing's girlfriend, who is blind most of the time, but when she was a She-Thing, had vision, was able to see, and turned into the Thing. Going to next Marvel books would be Spider-Girl number 1. I didn't have this cover. This is the A cover or a regular cover of Spider-Girl #1. I have the B cover or variant down in the archives, but I didn't have this cover, so I wanted to have this one. And this is Spider-Girl #13, a variant done by Arthur Sweetum. And the spelling for his name is Suydham, Arthur Sweetum, who is known for doing zombie covers. He does also other covers, but and also somewhat painted zombie covers. But love this depiction of Spider-Girl as a zombie. And then we've got this, changing subjects, staying in the Spider folks, Amazing Spider-Man. And I have no idea what, I think it's number 30. Number 30, I'm not sure what volume this is of Amazing Spider-Man, but with Jim Lee as the cover artist on this one. And I have a feeling it was probably some type of X-Men tie-in cover that they're doing. But I love that cover with Bishop on the cover. And then we've got, staying somewhat in order so that way I don't drive you guys crazy with my numbers jumping around, because I had these put together wrong. My bad. Spider-Man #32. This is a Venomized cover. Venomized cover of a depiction of the Green Goblin being venomized. Number 32. And then we've got number 24. Still jumped out of order. My bad. Gabriel Dell'Otto cover here of Spider-Man 24 in that same volume there that I've been jumping around in numbers on. My bad, y'all. Then we've got Spectacular Spider-Man, one of John Michael's favorite characters, Tombstone, and I'm still jumping out of order because I put these together wrong when I did the other show. But Tombstone is one of John Michael's favorite characters. He's in jail with a gangster, in jail with Robbie Robertson. He is the assistant editor with J. Jonah Jameson and the Daily Bugle there. Anyway, they're both in jail. And then the Sin Eater story that John Michael also loves here with 134 and 136 of the Sin Eater. And I love this cover. This one is a more famous cover, but the Sin Eater storyline of, like I said, 134 and 136, parts 1 and 3. I don't have number 2. I couldn't find it. I wish they had it. I'll have to try to pick it up later. Then we've got Spider-Verse number 2 with Miles, and I'm not sure the character there. I have to look that up and put that in the comments or as a subtitle. You'll see it when I edit this video. But Miles, and this is my second copy of this book, as well as my second copy that I found there of this Spider-Verse book number 3 with Miles. And it's still Spider, but it's a mechanized mech Spider-Man. And for those of you that are not tracking, the Spider-Verse is showing all the depictions of the Spider characters that have been created. These books are creeping up in value as we speak, and you should really look at purchasing books. Edge of the Spider-Verse, because that has a couple of volumes, and now Spider-Verse, that more than likely has a few volumes in it too. But these books are creeping up, and as the next Miles Morales Spider-Verse movie is coming out pretty soon, the animated movie is coming out pretty soon, you may want to get these while the getting's good and early. See if you can find some in the back issue bins. Changing publishers now to Detective Comics and Batman. I love this cover here. This is the D cover of Batman 1062. Detective Comics, Batman Detective Comics number 1062. Just a fantastic cover here. Just bought it because it just caught my eye, as well as did this one here. The same issue. This is cover B This is a J.H. Williams cover, and I haven't bagged and boarded it yet, so I got to be careful how I'm handling this. And now, especially since it's the second or third time I'm handling this book, especially picking it up off the shelf and then my re-recorded video and now doing it again. But this is J.H. Williams, and you can never lose with a J.H. Williams III cover. Fantastic cover. There is a variant of that variant that is a 1 for 25. I think it's more black and white. I have it in here somewhere, but I didn't bring it out in time for this. But there's another variant of that cover that I just showed you. And then we've got the B cover by Lee Bermejo. And Lee Bermejo, you spell it B or Bermejo. Bermejo. Bermejo, I should say. Maybe that's probably the more correct enunciation. And so what's great about Bermejo is the fact that his painted covers, especially on these detective comics for the last 2 years, go find these books. Bermejo smashes every single one of these books, these Bermejo covers. I've got them all. I might just go and find another whole run of these. He smashes every single cover. You will enjoy having these in your collection if you can go and collect those Bermejo covers. And now going to Harley Quinn in these early Batman homage covers. This is one that depicts the homage of when Robin was the first on cover. And I can't remember what Batman book that is, but I'll put it in the subtitles as well as I will have it the original cover in the edits. So Harley Quinn number 19, and now I've got Harley Quinn number 20, which was the first. It's an homage to the first appearance of Batgirl, and this is Harley Quinn number 20. And I'll put the original Batgirl cover in addition in the edits as well. And then we got Rodney Barnes's and Jason's Scott Alexander on Philadelphia number 24 with a new character on the cover. And I'm looking forward to seeing this. I've got other covers of number 24, but I didn't have this one. I had to have it with a brand new character on the cover. I'm struggling because I'm trying to rush. And another Rodney Barnes book, Nita Hall's Nightmare Blog. And yeah, this is another Jason Sean Alexander cover and book as well with Rodney Barnes. They both worked that out together, and we've talked about that in the past. And now going back to Marvel, but these are books that I picked up from the local comic book store this week, last week. So Predator number 1 by Raza, and Raza smashes this as always. Kills every single cover that he ever does and puts his hands on. Raza's always on time with that Predator number 1. And then we've got another Predator variant by Scotty Young. Scotty Young doing his baby characters and depictions of characters, and does a good job as always. And I love the white. This will be good to try to keep in pristine shape with the white background, plain white with Predator on the front as baby Predator. A little bug there, excuse me. And then I picked up also Ghost Rider Vengeance Forever number 1. Looks like a Bjorn Barons cover. And then we've got Starhenge, not Stonehenge, Starhenge by Liam Sharp, and written and drawn by Liam Sharp. And if you guys aren't tracking who Liam Sharp is, he's been around for a long time, an English artist, and he's done books in Wonder Woman, as well as I believe Green Arrow, if I think I'm remembering that correctly. But he's been around for a long time, And what caught my eye about Liam Sharp, and I love his work, was the covers he did on Wonder Woman about 6 years ago, 6 7 years ago that he did. Every single cover, he just knocked it out of the park. And I strongly recommend trying to find those Liam Sharp covers by for Wonder Woman. Amazingly done. The dark inking or heavy pencils that he's known for are amazing. And then we've got a book here called Prodigy, and this is volume 2, Prodigy, the Icarus Society. I picked that up because I love volume 1 of just plain Prodigy, of which Prodigy is done by Mark Millar. He does a fantastic job on this book. I really enjoyed reading Prodigy volume 1. His superpower is his mind, and all the amazing things he can do because of the power of his mind. Mark Millar can sometimes go a little off the hinges sometimes, but this one he knocks out of the park, at least volume 1, and I'm looking forward to reading volume 2. And this is number 2 of volume 2. I have number 1 somewhere. Then we got another great cover artist, Puppeteer Lee, doing Spawn Scorched, number 8. Puppeteer Lee is another fantastic artist and has got this Scorched character down to a T. I mean, just always, and Scorched is on the front. Gunslinger Spawn is back there, regular Spawn, and I'm not sure what the Angel Spawn, Archangel Spawn is back there, but he does the Scorched character fantastic justice. Then we got Something is Killing the Children, and the latest issue of it. I do not have I don't know the number of this, and I'll put that in the subtitles as well. But this is one of the latest Something is Killing the Children by James Tynion. And then we've got a book that I'm looking forward to reading, Superman, Space Age, number 1. This is a book I'm excited to read. It's got Mike Allred and as the artist on the inside. I'm not sure who the cover artist is on this book, but I'm really excited to see what this is all about, to see this latest telling of tales of Superman. Then we've got Wolverine Patch, number 1. I think, no, number 4. Number 4. My God. Number 4. And this is a painted cover. And I like this one just because of the cover. I have no idea what's going on inside, and it won't be on my fast read list, but I just wanted to get it because the cover was so well done. Going into the Sandman realm, that is on Netflix, we have the character Corinthian in the Nightmare Country, number 1. And as you can tell with Corinthian, you have the mouth where the eyes are. And I love that cover of Corinthian with the eyes where the mouth is located. And then we've got Nightmare Country number 2. And just your nightmare coming out of the closet while you're sleeping. And then we've got 3 with the eye eating a piece of meat or a steak. Just too cool. Some people might find it grotesque, but I love it. I love this creativity. I'm not sure who the cover artist is killing these covers for Nightmare Country, but so well done. And then lastly, number 4. It came out recently, Nightmare Country number 4. So I had to have all those. Then last new book for now in this telling would be Obi-Wan number 3, a variant. You got Mace Windu, and I can't remember who the other character is with Obi-Wan. Someone can add it into the comments, but I cannot remember the other character's name right now. And then we've got for new books and new purchases, this Black Adam book, number 3 of 12, as they get ready to do the Black Adam movie with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I believe this is a Perio cover, and just excited about it. With as I've gotten all these books, and number 2, if you don't know, number 2 of this Black Adam run is a book that you want to get. There's a new character introduced as Black Adam, so you may want to get that number 2 cover of Black Adam. Do yourself that favor. But that was number 3 I just showed, and then we have Black Adam: The Justice Society Files. Hawkman is another new book that just came out. I picked up 2 copies of this one because I always love the look of Hawkman and its relation to Egyptian mythology and religion as well. And then an earlier volume of Black Adam. This is number 6 in the volume. I have number 1 somewhere around here. This might even be somewhere on the table here, but I just, and it's a pile somewhere, but I don't have it at arm's reach or hand's reach. Black Adam number 6 from an earlier volume. And then staying in the Black Adam storytelling, things we picked up from Target with my daughter. Black Adam, the Dr. Fate figure. I think there are 5 or 6 figures in this series that you can pick up. I have 2 of the 5 or 6, and that's one. And then the other one I have is right here. If I can get it out of the plastic and stop it from fighting with me, is the Hawkman figure. So if you can look those up, and you can actually go to the McFarlane Toy site as well and pick them up for a little bit cheaper, and or you can also find them on Amazon or whatever. But you can go where you want to go to pick those up. And last comic books I'm going to touch on would be here as I try to find books by Blade. This would be Tomb of Dracula number 51, where Blade fights Dracula. I'm looking forward to reading this one to see what it's about. Of course, I have my gloves on when I read it. It's an old book and I don't want to damage it. And then this other one that I found is Morbius, the Living Vampire, number 24, where Blade takes on Morbius. And last thing I'm going to show is things I picked up with my daughter while we were at Five Below, and love hanging out with her and doing our sci-fi things together. Shout out to you, my daughter Sophia. Love you. And so we picked up a Greef Karga, the character played by Carl Weathers in The Mandalorian, the mini Funkos, Greef Karga. And this is number 32. And then I've got number 31 in the box. This would be IG-11. And IG-11 is here as a little mini Funko. And then you've got the figures on the back showing, the different Funkos or mini Funkos there that you can get in the series. They only had a few, and in this Five Below, a lot of them were picked through already. I guess I got the scabs that were left. And last things found were these T-shirts. You can always get great T-shirts for $5. I'm wearing one as we speak from Five Below. This one here, same run at the store. And then we've got, that happened again. The bag still fell. Hawkeye. And then I've got Obi-Wan. Get yourself some nice T-shirts for sci-fi collecting from Five Below for $5. So, last thing shown, Darth Vader and the Mandalorian. These figures I picked up from there, $5. And so, I tried to run through the show as quickly as possible this time. I know the sound is right. And I am glad that you have taken the time to spend time with us today on 2SkeGEEKS, because we're always 2SkeGeeked up to find time to enjoy this hobby, not just for ourselves, but with you. So please like and subscribe to our show, and we will see you soon, and especially with John Michael. And we'll holler at you later. Peace.